Hello, hello, amazing souls. My name is Anka, and welcome to the aftermath of the 888 portal. This is a vlog. I'm sharing just my experience. I feel like there's quite a palette of how this energy has been experienced, and I just want to share some of my themes, some of my realizations, see what resonates with you. We're basically comparing notes. Um, it's been very intense, so much so I couldn't take any videos. I can't make these videos on demand or on schedule anyway. But the intensity required that all the attention is to be placed inwardly. And that's what I've done. Today, now that the portal has officially closed, I feel like I can kind of speak on it, even though I will need this entire retrograde, and I've never looked forward to a Mercury retrograde the way I am now. The alignment is just perfect of that. We need to regurgitate, masticate, digest all the stuff that has been happening, and to me, it's not that all the stuff that has been happening right now, but it's the clarity, the clicking that of all the stuff that has been happening for the past 5 years came into such a convergence, came into such a clarity, into an alignment that all of a sudden, everything that I thought was symbolic, everything that I thought was just a vision with, could be like it's a form of this or a form of that, but how real can this be? And the clarity is that it is real. So my mind cannot handle all the realizations that pretty much happen within 2 days or three. And I realized that it's actually just one theme, and all the other things that I thought were themes were actually consequences. So there's like a separate grouping of themes as a consequence of this big, huge one theme. And to me, and I know it, I know I've been preparing for this portal, and yet this was an experience, and it's totally different. The mental understanding of something, and then when you're stepping into the experience, it's like, and that's exactly what happened. So the one theme is same as what I've been talking about, is this alignment of the multidimensional self. But on the morning of, when I woke up, the awareness of that multidimensional self, and it was beyond the mind. It was a state. It was a state of glory, and now I finally understand glory, because in an experiential form, I understood glory, and I understood that there is this showering of the glory when we emerge from the density, from the veiling into the openness, the luminosity, the multidimensional aspect of self. You are just showered with this glory. And I like the word recognition, and I work with that recognition a lot, but they're two separate things. Now they're like, oh my God, they're not even. I thought they're very close. They're kind of neighbors. No. And so I tried to make a video. I thought that we can just have a nice ceremony, and I invite everybody in the ceremony that I was having. But when I realized that I'm actually standing in my full body into the full open window of this Lionsgate portal, and I'm not afraid, I'm not, because if you've been following me, as soon as this window opened and there's a little degree of this light from the Lionsgate coming through, my body freaked out. And so I had to really work and prepare. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen when this full portal is open? I'm going to disintegrate or something, you know? And the morning of, I was standing and I was able to look, because this, at the beginning, this light was blinding. I'm like, I can't look into the portal. Are you kidding me? And the morning of, I was standing, I was able to receive and not be blinded or not be anything. And it felt like we were standing there were people. I wasn't the only one. There were people there, and we were sitting at the table with Ra. So I was able to light my candle and open the ceremony and invite you in. If you've done a morning ceremony on the 8th, maybe you were with me. What happened was, when this glory fully flowed through me, I just became a mess. You know, the only thing, I just wept. I basically, the whole ceremony was me weeping next to my yellow candle. You know, even now, it's like so intense. Okay. And so with that multidimensionality, the next day, I'm still kind of shaking, because this is happening within the body as well, right? It's not just something out there that you have a great understanding of. It's flowing through you. It's like the blood, the blue blood of the astral, the life force, the sparkling of that blood is like united, you know, with the red blood. Oh my God, okay. The red and blue pill from the Matrix. I just had this vision. It's, how did they pick those two colors? It's just, okay, it's insane. But it's like they merged, or maybe something happened with the DNA, but it's like they overlapped, and the stuff that's flowing through the body, the bliss, uh, you know, like, so my problem right now is, how is one to function in the state? Because I have a couple days now. I was able to paint my room, because all that fire, I needed my room to be aquamarine. So it's like the green, ocean green with the blue. They had to combine, and I had to literally be in this color. Okay. In a very physical way. So I painted my room. But how are we to function in this state? You know, like, you're constantly vibrating in bliss, but at the same time, the next day, so that's the 9th, the theme. So this is the overarching theme, the alignment in a very physical experience of the multidimensional self, full awareness, not with the mind. I still don't know exactly what's happening. Anyway, so because of that alignment, immediately the next theme was the separation of the worlds. And, you know, Bashar has been talking about this since what, 2016, 2017? I don't even know. And I always wondered, right, how that is to be. And that theme has been coming up for discussion. And if you're not familiar with it, basically it's the theory is the theory that people choose to set their reality point, their assemblage point, in a such vast difference, the delta of frequency of their reality points is so apart that collectively there's enough force, let's just say imaginary force, that literally there's two experiences, two worlds being formed because of one reality is within one bandwidth of consciousness, and the other reality set point is within a vastly different consciousness bandwidth. And as these realities set points start to grow apart, they're literally two different worlds that are being experienced by these groups of people. And actually, the last video, the paradox of oneness, or whatever I titled it, the paradox of the idea of being one, talks about that, because, I talk about in that video, and I realized that video was so for me. I needed that, me talking through that, to prepare me for the separation. So I don't care to go into any of those narratives, because it's like, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, or I don't care to project. Um, it's kind of still sci-fi-ish enough for me that it's like, yeah, it's out there. I kind of, I see it. I see how that could happen. Well, it happened. It happened so clear. I literally woke up feeling like I belong. I'm in a different world. And it's not that like the worlds have separated. It's that I encompass so many more worlds, that the people who are not part of this united or expanded reality, they are separating from me, because they cannot see how this is one world. The union has not happened within their experience, right? And so for some of you, or whatever, I don't know, for some people, I see comments on social media, and I feel like if you're trying to make that happen, I don't know that you can. Like, you have to wait. At least that's been in my experience. You can't make the shift happen. It happens for you. Okay, now that the shift happened, what are you going to do with that? That is for you to do. How you integrate that, how you accept that, what action, what behavior are you going to step into to claim that? That is for you to do. And that is the confirmation of that split continuing to happening for you. That is the decision. But making the happening happen, I don't know. I don't know if you can make it happen, I guess. For me, it just happened. When that happens, the amount of sorrow that is present is a lot. Is a lot, because the choice and the action that are clear for you to make, it's just there. So how that translated for me, it's like I have to physically say goodbye to the people, to the expectations, to the definitions, to the self that is maybe part of that world or is no longer part of that world. And there's a nostalgia of comfort, right? There's nostalgia. And I came to the conclusion that I physically have to ceremonially, not in a physical way, right, say goodbye. And so I want to clarify the saying goodbye, right? Because I don't necessarily move to a person and say, you know, yeah, I had this experience and I'm in a separate world now from you, and I'm gonna say goodbye. That's ridiculous. No, I'm I'm saying goodbye to the self. There, in the physical world, there's no action, but in the next, in the astral, in the emotional and mental astral, the fourth dimension, right after the physical, there's a goodbye that I physically had to say. And that goodbye is always towards me, that I'm letting go of holding on of the hope, or me trying to convince somebody or anybody of the reality that I'm experiencing. At this stage, it is clear for me that I cannot convince anybody of the perfect world, of the bliss, of the love, of the unity, of 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 what I'm experiencing, this beauty. I cannot convince and project that onto anybody. And coming into that acceptance produced such a sorrow. And at the same time, my heart was so heavy. This was on the 9th, I think, the morning of the 9th. And I step into by the window because it's like, what else can I do? I'm just going to go outside and just reflect on the trees, right? Just take it all in. And two does, these young deer, were coming up on our property. And they took a turn right in front of the window, right below the driveway. And they started prancing and putting on a show. And I knew it was for me to cheer up, that the sorrow, yes, I have to feel it, I have to acknowledge it, but let it go. Let go even of the sorrow, because you're in a space now that you can acknowledge it, but don't stick in that even anymore. And so it's that piece, it was so intense, right? um it was so intense. And because I think I took that action and I said my goodbyes, the other thing that happened, again, things just happen. I don't have to call in anything. The next day I'm meditating, and in my meditation, all these other relationships come in, and these are old contracts. This is consequence number 2, right? So number 1, the first consequence was the world is splitting. That's clear. And number 2, because of that consequence, the contracts that we've had, that these are, you might have already cleared and cleaned and let go and rearranged some contracts here and there. We're talking Atlantis, Egypt, thousands of years long contracts. Things like that just went. And it was so strong for me personally that I have no recollection of what happened. Usually I can kind of recollect how those events happened. I just knew the intensity of what my body went through. but my subconscious, it was like the contract was nulled, and my subconscious sealed the access to those timelines, that access was completely sealed, gone. So yeah, that was massive. And then number 3, probably as a result of that, there was a clear rebirth, a very physical rebirth. I'm not talking even like the stuff that happened, which I'm going to keep that one. How they happened, I'm going to just keep those stories to me. I'm just going to say these rebirths are literal. That's all I can say. So the body is different. We're in a different world. And how we are to function, I have no idea. I'm just, every day, I'm waking up now, and I'm so thankful for this Mercury retrograde, and what this rebirth in this new world is going to bring is to be seen. I know that the future is still sealed. It's not being shown. There is still a lot of acceptance going on. There was something else I wanted to say. What was it? With oh yeah, but this unknown, I'm in such excitement because the freedom that exists in this space and the possibilities, it's like the unknown all of a sudden is like a welcoming feeling. It's like, oh, you are home. Before, the unknown is something that brought up anxiety, that brought up fear. Fear is anxiety. Yeah. At the most beautiful place, it was uncomfortable. But now the unknown, it's almost like the unknown feels home. It feels exciting. It feels like, ooh, what else can we create? You know, it just feels so light. And the pleasure, I think it is from this unknown, the anticipation of how the unknown is to unfold is so strong. Like I woke up yesterday, and for the first couple hours, I woke up at 6:30 just to lay on the floor and take in these waves of bliss. And it's like an arousal, you know, like it's spiritual arousal. And it's like, how am I to function? How am I to function? So, and I was kind of sharing this with somebody, and they're like, are all these things happening to you while you're sober? It's like, yes. Yeah, I am so clean that I can't even have caffeine. Any type of stimulation on the body is too much. So, you know, if I have coffee every third day is like 2 fingers worth of coffee just to kind of like have a smell, and I can't have any more than that, right? and and yeah, and the one thing that I'm kind of drawn now is Carlos Castaneda. You know, I read some of those books in my 20s, late 20s, and then I stopped. Somebody, I forget which one we're discussing, either the one with the dream, the art of dreaming, or the infinity one. They're like, yeah, I don't recommend you read that because you won't be able to sleep for weeks after reading that stuff. That's, and how real is it? And now it's like, first of all, I don't know if I could see anything that would scare me anymore. I'm so far into science fiction that now it's like, okay, I want to reread and I want to see how I'm interpreting that type of world from this space now. So that's where I'm at. So I hope you had an amazing time. The next preparation already is October, apparently. And what I'm realizing that we're only being prepared for the next wave, the next wave, the next wave. So right now, integrate, rest, allow the domestication, the digestion to fully happen. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here with me. Bye.